Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, and today our special guest is Gus Tsiorvas. He is the new owner of Embassy Diner located on Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, just west of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. Welcome to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College. Gus, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now, you have me excited because I like diners and I like food. So this is going to be an interview that I'm going to enjoy. But first, let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you worked your way into owning a classic Long Island diner.
Well, my family has been in the diner business since 1973.
Wow.
My father owned a diner. I was born in 1980. So my father owned a diner in Rosedale, Queens in 1973 until 1990. It was called the Cross Island Diner, and then on Merrick Boulevard. And then after that, he bought a diner in 1990 in Seaford called the Seaford Palace. And that's pretty much where I started working with my dad at 10, 11 years old, going on the weekends to help him. And that's where I got my first love of the diner business.
And you've been working in a diner, you know the business.
10, 11 years old, yeah.
And the magic word there that you said, first, love of the business.
Yeah, love.
It really is great, especially if you see someone today who, they may have gone to college, they may have advanced degrees, but they're not really happy in their work. And just from talking to you before the show, you really enjoy what you do.
This is my passion. This is what I was born to do. I love what I do. There's no other word to describe it except for the love and passion of what I do. I love all my customers. I love dealing with people. I just love it. I love food, as you can tell. That's why I'm a little heavy.
That's a good sign. You never want a skinny person working in a restaurant, or I don't. I'm not going to trust them. And now you are Greek, am I correct?
Yes, I am Greek. And then, so I just give you a little bit more of the background. From 1990 to 2000, my father owned the diner in Seaford. It was called the Seaford Palace Diner on Merrick Road. And then in 2001, he had bought the diner out in Islip. He still owns the diner out in Islip. So I worked my whole career with him there also. So when it came to a point of last year, the year before, I started thinking about doing something for my own because I have my own family now. I have 3 little kids. And I said to myself, you know what, it's time for something for me. And the opportunity arose with the Embassy Diner, which has been there for 62 years. And I took it. And that's the reason why.
Now, that's a great lead-in for my next question, because my next question is basically, how did this opportunity come about? Were you looking for your own place? Sometimes things just happen magically, right time, right place. Some of us meet our husbands or wives that way, or you meet a special pet and you say, wait, that's the dog I want or the cat. How did you come about buying this?
Well, the way it happened was, like I said to you, I became older in life. I was 41, and I have my 3 kids. And you start to think differently when you have your 3 kids. It was nice to work with for my father. It was a beautiful thing. But it wasn't mine. It was always my dad. My dad has partners, my uncle, my other uncle, my cousins. It was time for something just for me and my family. And an opportunity arose that I heard that the Embassy Diner was for sale. And I had gone down to meet the 2 owners who have been there for 45 years together at the age of 82 and 76.
Wow.
They were looking to retire. And what you just said before, when you meet your wife, we just clicked. They wanted to make sure that the diner kept a diner, and they wanted to make sure that the legacy that they left was to be continued. And I promised them that I would.
I'm going to say something as a senior person, let me put it that way, meaning myself. We meet people as we go through the world where everything clicks, and they're like you. They're smiling. They're enjoying what they're doing. There's other people who never click.
No,
and
that's true.
Nothing clicks, nothing fits, and every time they come out of the room, oh, that fellow wasn't nice. That lady wasn't kind to me. She's very fresh. She was rude. They find something wrong. I can see that you're the kind of person I want to eat in your diner because you like what you're doing. Yeah. You're having a good time. And something that went for 45 years, and now you're taking it over. That's a lot of responsibility. That must have been a bit nerve-wracking when you're going through that.
It was the pressure that I had, not only to make my family proud of me, but to make those 2 guys, because they are my family now. I consider them my family, those 2 guys, because they sold me their baby. That's their baby.
Right, really.
So I want to make them proud and show them that I'm going to take their baby and I'm going to continue the legacy that they left. And that's really, really what I want to do. I want to make them proud.
And that's a great attitude. And obviously to old-time customers where people have gone in. Whenever something changes hands, you say, "Oh, is it going to be as good as it used to be, or will the new doctor be as good as old Dr. Smith or something?" But I love your attitude about it. Now, I was telling you when we talked before the show, I just came back from Boston, and you look around Boston and many other cities, you don't see diners. And if you're a Long Islander, a New Yorker, you might think they're all over the place, but all of a sudden someone mentions find a diner, and you can't find them in other cities. Yeah. So how would you define it? What makes a restaurant a diner?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Diners and restaurants, a diner you can go at any time, during the day, during the night. At 8 o'clock in the morning, if you want to order a lasagna, you can have a lasagna at the diner. You can't have that at a restaurant. You can have a cheeseburger for breakfast if you wanted to. You can have that at a restaurant. These are the type of things that differentiate. A diner, the menu's 10 pages thick, where you can order anything you want at any time that you want. A chicken franchise at 2 o'clock in the morning if you really want it. A broiled filet of sole at 2 o'clock in the morning if you like it. A broiled filet of sole at 8 o'clock in the morning if you like it. These are the type of things that you can't have at a restaurant.
Oh, and they would look at you like, it's not lunchtime yet, it's not dinner time yet. And I didn't even think of it that way. I was thinking more the variety of foods that you have. And darn if they don't all look so good. And then you tempt people. In most diners, you go in and you see like 19 desserts, and they're all triple sized. If you like a chocolate cake or one of those giant strawberry shortcake, or those giant chocolate chip cookies that weigh about 6 pounds each. You can see I'm a foodie when I'm talking about this, but I really do love diners, and I miss them when I go on a trip. I say, if it was just a diner, you could go in and I could have this and my wife could have a salad, or she could have the lasagna if she wanted it, and maybe I just want a small slider or a cheeseburger or the big chocolate chip cookie and wash it down with an egg cream.
Yep.
So I'm guessing you're open 24 hours the way you're talking.
Friday and Saturday, 24 hours. And then during the week, we pretty much 24 hours. It opens at 6 a.m. and closes at 2 a.m. So really only closed for 4 hours.
It's hardly worth closing up, but I'm sure
to clean up.
You have to clean up and do things like this. Yeah. Now, the magic question we have to know, what's the most popular dishes? I know what I like when I go into a diner, but for the mass of people.
Well, the Embassy Diner now, as I was telling you before, we've incorporated the old school chef specialties back. A lot of diners are going away from it. My diner, we're now bringing it back. So there are these beef stews that's absolutely delicious. Beef goulashes, stuffed peppers, lamb shanks, all those types of things that you haven't had in years. We have them now, and they're absolutely amazing. But then you can also have we incorporated a new menu. We have a Italian grilled cheese, which is a grilled cheese stuffed mozzarella cheese and mozzarella sticks with a light garlic sauce. It's out of this world. You have a chicken bacon ranch quesadilla or panini, a honey barbecue chicken bacon panini, a honey barbecue chicken bacon panini, steak teriyaki wrap, chicken teriyaki wrap, chicken souvlaki, gyros, cheeseburgers, anything you want, you have.
I noticed as you're giving the answer, and this is subconsciously I'm doing it, but I was actually licking my lips, and then I found it. I said, "Oh, gee, I have to tell you this because the tongue is moving back and forth." So subconsciously, I'm trying to taste all the garlic on that Italian cheese sandwich, etc. But it really is. Sometimes you go into a place and you just want something like that. I know my standby or go-to is the cheeseburger and some variation of it. And I honestly, anytime I go into a diner, I know I'm going to get a really good cheeseburger, probably one of the best I've had, top 5%. I might go someplace else, but the diner always comes through. And one thing about it, even though they're owned by different people, they're very solid of being very good food for what you're getting. And as you said, you get your choice. You don't have to eat Italian if you don't want it. It doesn't have to be Asian.
And if you were to come into my diner, what I do, if I have that special day that is a beef goulash, and I saw you just coming in and you looked happy, and I would give you a little beef goulash to try. And you know what you would tell me when you left, which most people tell me? What is the goulash again? I want to come back to the goulash.
I was going to say that because
you would forget all about the cheeseburger. I'm going to tell you my
favorites and find out when pea soup day is.
Thursdays.
That seems to be universal.
Yes, that's universal, yes.
Okay, I probably sound like a wacko if people aren't used to diners, but I remember many years ago, people in work would go out Thursday and have pea soup for lunch. That was our lunch. Breakfast all day, I see that at diners. Is that a Long Island thing that people like breakfast all day?
It is a Long Island thing. It's a New York thing, to be honest with you, that other restaurants don't have that breakfast all day. They stop serving breakfast at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, but we do it all day long. Most diners do it all day long. chocolate chip pancakes for dinner. You know how many people come for chocolate chip pancakes for dinner?
I can imagine. And I think we all like that. And oddly enough, we probably don't have time most mornings. And not only that, but just the lifestyle when you're running out to cook bacon and eggs, ham and eggs, chocolate chip pancakes or waffles or something like that. Whereas if you go there, you can sit down for a few minutes or maybe have a meeting in the diner and, just enjoy it. We want you to know that you're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan. Today we're talking with our guest, Gus Tsiorvas. He is the new owner of the classic Embassy Long Island Diner. It's located at Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, just west of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. So easy enough to remember. We'll give you those directions, those names, because if you're like me, you're going to get more and more hungry as the show goes on. You're going to want to try it, especially that goulash that he's tempting us all with. So we'll have to enjoy that. What are some of the unique things on the menu that most people might not find in another restaurant? Again, it's hard to imagine someone doesn't know a Long Island diner, but probably there are people who go into places near them. Maybe there's not a diner, certainly not one like yours. So what would be some of the unique things they would find?
Like I said to you, I named some of the chef's specialties, but I'm going to name some more. We also have veal with mushrooms, and it's like a stew. It's amazing. Chicken oreganata with potatoes, chicken and potatoes. Chicken cacciatoris, baked short ribs, Yankee pot roast.
Yeah, that's another of my favorites.
Yankee pot roast is amazing. What else do we have? We have on Thursdays corned beef and cabbage. Pepper steak. Oh, the pepper steak is outrageous.
I'm just thinking now, and I'm thinking as a business person, does that make it so much harder for you? Obviously, if someone works in a restaurant where they're just cooking one type of ethnic dish, and we'll say Italian because that's popular. Okay, you get someone who knows Italian cooking, they have a lineup of dishes, but it's probably 10% of what you have on your menu. You have to get somebody who cooks Greek, Italian, Asian, variations on all these dishes, breakfast dishes. Is that in itself a specialty?
It is a specialty, but when you have guys that have been working there for so many years that know what they're doing, that know, my chef knows what he's doing. My guy Jose, who's here with me now, he's the top guy there. He knows what he's doing. He's excellent. You ever have a chicken francese? The best chicken francese you're ever going to have in your life.
Jose, we're going to get you into this now because I know how much you value him, that you brought him into this interview, and it's Jose Hernandez, correct? Yeah. And you've been doing this for 45 years. First of all, you look much younger than that, but if you're lying, that's okay. That's good for you. You got the nice Embassy Diner shirt on. Is it hard keeping up with all of these recipes and putting out quality food? It's not just you're putting something, okay, I'll serve it to them. But I know, and if you go into a Greek restaurant, the goulash is very good. The pea soup is very good. As I said, the cheeseburger is my favorite. How do you keep up with everything?
Well, because when you like to work, the sits to make food, they try to do the best. When I start to work in the embassy, the guy teach me. He's a Greek guy too. They told me, when you do something, you have to do the best thing in your life. This is why, I try to do the best. Chicken francese, I try to do my
with his heart.
Yeah,
with his heart.
With your heart. But, I mean, you first of all, you must be a good teacher. You're obviously a good student. You've been doing this 45 years. And Long Island customers and people come into restaurants, they're going to let you know right away if this isn't good. It's going to be, I don't want this. This is cold.
Take it back.
It's not. Take it back. It's not. They're not shy, right?
No.
And they're going to tell you. And if you can do something for 45 years,
I can do it.
And you're smiling about it. So again, I get the impression you do it very well because you like your work. And if you were failing every day and getting it sent back, you wouldn't be there 45 years.
Exactly
certainly.
right.
So,
exactly right.
I'm going to ask you later on what's your best dish. If you had to enter a contest, one of the TV shows, so I'll give you time to think about it, but which one would you submit? Now, another thing about diners, and I think I was kidding with you a bit about it before, was when you go in, I always see, the first thing I see is a cake that's about the size of a tire for a truck. And desserts that, even I'm not a big dessert eater because I'm eating my cheeseburgers, but you want to eat those desserts. There's strawberry shortcake. That's, again,
lemon meringue.
Triple the size. Tell us about that and some of the good ones that
I brought in, when we bought the diner, I brought in my chef and my baker. So we have a new chef and a new baker there as soon as I got there. The baker, we do all our baking on premises. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable. His cakes, the taste of them, people coming from all over the place just to try his cakes. His lemon meringue, his pumpkin cheesecake, his pumpkin pie, his, what else does he make? A strawberry banana chocolate cake. Strawberry banana chocolate cake.
This is getting better and better.
Amazing.
And more tempting.
And also what he does is we give, what you were mentioning, chocolate chip cookies before. I give little cookies. Any of the kids that come into the diner, they get lollipops and cookies present from us. We go around to the
If I come in on my knees, can I come in? I don't have too much hair on my head, but can I squeeze in and still get a cookie?
Of course you can.
You treat seniors right.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that we get this much. But honestly, you pointed out something very well. You go to a lot of restaurants, and not that it's wrong, but they're not doing baking on the premises. So they're cutting you a piece of cake. It might be a quality cake from a local bakery or from bread, but you do the baking right there.
Yes, we
so
do.
it's going to be even better.
Fresh.
And essentially your name is on it. So if it's not good, and again, I think we as customers, we meaning Long Islanders, if we don't like something, we apply it to everything. So if the dessert isn't good, all of a sudden the meal wasn't good. If the appetizer isn't good, I'm very disappointed in your restaurant. And then you have to live with that, and you lose a customer.
Absolutely.
And they're not going to be happy. And I don't think you lose too many customers because obviously you and Jose enjoy what you do. You take great pride in it. You said you had the baker right there on the premises.
And he also makes the best rice pudding you ever tasted in your life.
Now, that's another of my favorites. So, Jose, we're going to talk after the show about this rice pudding stuff.
Okay.
Is there something magical? I mean, is it the 24 hours? Is it the variety? What do you think pulls people in?
To the diner?
Yeah.
What you said before, to me, is the most important thing that you can ever do. When a customer comes into the diner, they don't want to be greeted by a grumpy or not friendly person. They want to see a smile. Hi, how are you? They want to be treated like family. Any person that comes into my diner is my house. I spend more time there than I do in my own house. So I consider it as my house. So when you come into my house, I'm going to greet you with open arms, happy, smiling, and thanking you for coming to see me.
That's a great attitude and the right attitude. Obviously, if I go into a restaurant, that's what I would like to see, or any business, whether they have 100 people in there and it's a small shop or one. I should be treated as the most important one.
Absolutely.
And I'm not a demanding person, but I do like to be, respected. That don't tell me you'll be back to the table, you'll be back to the table, you'll be back to come take my order. If you're really busy, I think everybody can understand.
Yes.
Sometimes a busload of people come in or something, but for the most part, treat them like your family.
Absolutely. Treat them like your family, because that differentiates you from any other diner. Anybody can go have a cheeseburger somewhere. You can have a cheeseburger, like you said. Most of the diners have cheeseburgers, regular cheeseburgers, but what differentiates you from everybody else is the key.
Now, how about today especially? How do you deal with food safety issues and just problems that must come up with that? Food has to be fresh. It has to be kept at a certain temperature.
Absolutely.
Some warm, some cold.
Absolutely.
In the whole picture of things, now you're running around, you're taking care of the cash register, you're trying to keep customers happy. I'm sure there's other issues in there like anybody else. There's a plumbing problem, an air conditioning problem.
100%. Yes.
Something doesn't work, something does work, etc. How do you keep up on all that?
It's not easy, but I'm not going to lie to you, because the stress and the pressure of it, like you said, a couple of weeks ago, I had to buy a whole new air conditioning unit, which I did. It's no big deal, but these are the little things in business that come up that are part of being in business. But refrigeration, every day, with the first thing we do when we walk in, check every refrigerator, make sure they're working fine. That's the most important, because that's your food, that's your bread and butter. So that's the first thing Jose does. I do as soon as we walk in the diner. We check to make sure that the refrigerators are working, the freezers are working, everything's working properly, because that's the most important issue.
And again, it's until a mistake or something happens. It might not even be a mistake. It may just be something was spoiled or left out too long. But of course, the one person who gets it says there's something wrong with this pudding or these eggs or the cream cheese. And accidents do happen in life with everybody. If we were all perfect, we would get perfect scores all through school, and we wouldn't have to worry about things like that. Gus, before we go further, again, I want our audience to know that you're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan. Our guest today is Gus Tsiorvas. He is the owner of the Embassy Diner located on Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, just west of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. And if you want some of these good foods, and they're prepared by Jose Hernandez, who's sitting to my right over here, give it a visit. Go over to the Embassy and test him out. See if what he's saying is true. He's grinning, so I know he's confident that he's going to make a new customer if you do that, and you're probably going to gain a few pounds. But it's a good trade-off. I think we'll all go for that. What would you say is the biggest, I don't want to say a negative, but a problem about running a diner that perhaps customers don't see, don't even realize, like every business, lawyers, doctors have?
These days, unfortunately, it's hard to find help. A lot of people with the help these days, it's hard to find help. But thank God that I have such a repertoire with people and the help that I've been in business for so many years that people enjoy working for me because I make it enjoyable. Not only do I treat my customers like family, but I treat my health like family because they are family. Without them, I'm nothing. They produce for me, for my kids, as well as themselves. But that's the most important thing.
You know, we do many shows here at WHPC, and any of the ones with business aspects or such as a restaurant or any type of business, the people who give that answer are usually the most successful, meaning that they treat the workers like their family. You might have to reprimand them sometime,
100%.
But you understand their problems. They're going to have a good day and a bad day themselves. They're going to need a doctor's appointment, and they're going to need a vacation at some time. And if you treat everybody the way you would like to be treated, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
My father always told me from a little kid, you give respect to get respect. It just doesn't happen that you get respect. You have to give it first.
And that's why he was so successful.
That's 100% correct.
Jose, are you going to back this up? Is he a good boss?
The best.
Does he treat you like family?
Oh, yes.
Does he?
It's the best.
He doesn't make you run out and shovel the snow in between?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes? He said yes. So
he's the best boss.
Now, tell our audience and us here, you've made me already licking my lips while we're talking. What is your signature dish? If you were entering a contest on TV, what dish would you put into that contest?
What are we talking about? Breakfast, lunch, dinner? What kind of...
whatever you feel is the dish that I would want to try or you'd be most proud of.
I would be proud of my chef's specialties for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of them, the goulash, the stew, I'd be very proud. I could take that and put it up against anybody's. I'd be proud to put his chicken franchise and his chicken stir-fry teriyaki up against anybody's.
When you say his, that's Jose you're pointing at,
yes,
right?
I'm paying
We want to give Jose Hernandez the credit because he's the man making
I
all
would
these
put his
things.
up against anybody's. So those 4 things for dinner. For breakfast, our pancakes are amazing. Amazing. Our pancakes are amazing. Our French toast is made by the baker. Fresh French toast made by the baker. Holly French toast. Amazing.
I know I'm thinking during this, my daughter and son-in-law who work during the week, but I'm going to tell them and send them out there to be a secret shopper and find out because I think they're into pancakes and French toast, and that would be a good testing ground for them. You mentioned before it's a tough market to hire employees. So what do you do when you're interviewing someone or looking for someone? Is there anything magical that you can say? You ask a certain question? Do you give them a test? I'm
going to be honest with you. Me, because I know who I am, if somebody comes in and starts asking me right away, how many hours do I have to work? How much do I get paid an hour? When is my break? Those type of people, I'm not really, I mean, those are legit questions, but if that's the first thing you're going to ask me when you get there, to me, that doesn't show me that you want to work.
Right.
That shows me that you're just looking to get a paycheck. I want the type of people who take pride, like Jose said. He takes pride in what he does. He loves what he does. The passion I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. The money's always going to be there. I pay everybody always. I'm very generous. But I want to see the passion.
And I would guess that's hard to find today because that's hard work.
Very hard.
And you have to be someone in the restaurant business. And it's not, to my knowledge, maybe it is, but it's not something played up on TV. I mean, I know they have a lot of these shows dealing with fine cooking and exciting dishes, but doing the hard work, being the server, taking it over, working with people, and probably you can do, I guess you're talking 8-hour shifts, and if someone's working for 8 hours, if you make one mistake, that's the one you thought of.
Yes.
You dropped the glass of Coke, or you were a little late getting the water back to the table, or you forgot to bring the butter or something like that because you were rushing around the kitchen. Things happen.
Things happen
with any
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Gus, we've heard that in your diner you have a ton of American flags.
Yes, we do.
And tell us about that. Why so many American flags?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. My father always His corporation's names from the 1973 has been his corporation, God Bless America and Beautiful America. My corporation name is Home of the Brave. Without America, this is what I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for America. We should be happy and grateful for America. And I take pride in America. So, yes, I have flags all over my roof. We also, for every holiday, every different holiday, decorate. Every single holiday, the diner's decked out in decorations, no matter what the holiday is.
I'm going to make a list to come in. I want, for myself, the cheeseburger. For my family, we're going to have some of the breakfast dishes. And I'm going to make a point to come on one of the holidays to see all of the flags, the different decorations, because I think it would be a fun place. And I think families like that, we go in, most of us go for the fast food. You don't really see it. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
That's the nature of fast food. But to go into the diner and celebrate whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and see what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm very proud. On my business card, it says, not only does it say Hempstead Diner, but it also says Home of the Brave. And on the back, it has support local police agencies, because it's very important.
That's right.
All my brothers and sisters are police officers, so I'm a big believer in that.
No, and I think we should be, and thank God for the good, brave people who get out there and do their work and really protect us, because we're in a crazy world today, and
Yes.
who knows what goes on. Unfortunately, almost every time we hit on the news. Let me ask you, now, diner is open 20 hours a day. You close for about 4. You said weekdays and open 24 on the weekend. How much time do you, as the owner, have to put in?
Well, because it's new and because I'm there, I just bought the diner. I'm there 7 days a week, from 8:30 in the morning till 11:30 at night. 7 days a week, because I want to make sure that the ship goes the right way. And that's what I'm there for.
Well, obviously, it's your place, but I mean, I don't think people realize what a tough life that is, running a restaurant.
It is.
And, trying to keep things and maintain the status. But if you're there, the boss is there, and the owner is there, obviously nobody wants the place to be more successful.
100%.
Although I think Jose does, and he works hard to get those
he
good
does.
dishes out for you. But you're the man that you're overseeing it. So if the boss is there looking, people aren't going to scatter too quickly.
No.
And they're going to do the right thing. What's one quick thing you want to leave our audience with that we should know about the Embassy Diner?
The Embassy Diner is family-oriented and is just has the most amazing food. Not because it's mine, but take it from me. It's the most amazing food. I know about food. So please come by and see us one day. We're very patriotic. We love everything, so come and see it.
You convinced me, and you're going to make me gain a few pounds, but I want to try all that good food. I want our audience to know that you've been listening to Gus Tsiorvas. He is the new owner of the Embassy Diner, located on Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, just west of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. Gus, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Jose, also, thank you,
Okay.
and thanks for making all these good dishes for such a long time. And you're going to see me there, and I want you to make me one of those good dishes.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Horan here on WHPC, and I thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.